Hello and welcome to day 3 of the World Cyber Games 2019 in Xi'an, China. Well, you guys can see it already on the camera here. There are a lot of people very, very excited in this building because it's time for the semi-finals of our Warcraft 3 tournament. I'm Ken van der Kooi, also known as Rotterdam. With me is Johan Letot Merlo, the human legend of all legends. Johan, you look around you, you gotta feel ready.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. House is packed and Warcraft 3 is still very popular here and doing well in China, and we're gonna have a human. I couldn't be happier here. We get a mirror between two of the absolute best. Obviously, every single match in the semi-finals is going to be a rematch, as we had round robin in the group. But you know what? The two best series, or actually the two best quality games that we had so far in the round robin in the group, are happening again here, with Infi going up against HawK, and then later on Moon going up against TH00. It's going to be a great day of Warcraft 3.
Yeah, I felt really stupid when I realized I kept talking about, like, it's going to be a rematch, guys. I'm
actually,
like, well,
you made me realize when you said that.
Yeah, I was like, well, technically everything is going to be a rematch, but like you said, it doesn't feel like that because those were truly the two series that stood out. Yeah. I mean, the human against human between Infi and HawK, which is going to be our first semi-final. It was amazing, guys. That game 3 was sick. Everybody loved it. The players, you know, everyone starts talking to each other. Oh my God, did you see that game? I was like, yeah, I was casting it, mate. Like, yeah, I saw the game. And then obviously yesterday, the final series of the tournament, we had TH and Moon, which was ridiculous as well. We're going to take a quick look at the rules. Of course, our game is Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne. We're all playing best of 3s, and we're still playing best of 3s, Todd.
Absolutely. We are done with the group stage. 4 players advanced from the 7 that were in there. We lost Lowlight as one of the favorites, but it was all because HawK kind of stole the show, made it out that very tough group, and now it's all best of 3 all the way to the finals, which is best of 3 as well. We're going to have a third place match. So today is going to be both semi-finals, then the third place match, and we're only saving the grand finals for tomorrow. And I got to say, it's pretty cool to see a Russian player in there in HawK, who definitely did extremely well. He was the only player to beat Infi in that group.
I mean, it's kind of funny, right? Because there's a 3-way tie for second place, but HawK actually only had 2 losses, but those 2 losses were against Moon and TH. Does not mean that we are once again going to have that human versus human between Infi and HawK. It was sick the first time. The Russian was able to get the job done in the end. Todd, before we talk about strategy, before we talk about build orders, what does your gut feeling say right now?
I feel like Infi and TH have got to be the 2 favorites. Semi-finals, but HawK and Moon, they've showed that you can't count them out. I feel like HawK really surprised you at this tournament. Usually, you know, he's one of the best players in Europe. He comes over to China, and I feel like he doesn't play nearly as well in a lot of these tournaments, but this time he really did. He played fantastic the whole way. Again, the only player to be able to beat Infi so far in this tournament. He's going to get another shot at the Chinese human here in a second, and Infi definitely wants that revenge here. He wants to go up to the grand finals, where I think he would have a pretty decent chance against either TH00 or Moon.
Don't forget that he's the only one of the 4 players left that has won a World Cyber Games. I mean, he won it in Chengdu back then, of course, 2009. That was a very big one, so he knows what it feels like to be up on this stage, to go this far into the tournament. And I do think, despite the fact that he lost that first series, and I'm with you, I think Infi is the favorite here, and I also think Infi is somebody who learns very quickly from his losses. I think he also knows that final game, after he got that important pressure skill on that Mountain King, that game shouldn't have slipped away from him anymore. But I think that's one of these things that happens once, it's not gonna happen again. I'm going to take a look. I mean, even recently, Todd, Infi has been still winning tournaments, winning a WGL, winning a GCS as well. But I can only think back of Chengdu when he was able to win the gold medal at the World Cyber Games.
And I mean, this is what I was talking about. You know, if we think of best human player in the world, a lot of people will tell you that that's TH00 currently. But Infi, on any given day, is capable to play out of his mind and just crush the competition and win these tournaments here. And he's been around for such a long time. He has so much experience, and he's evolved a lot as a player. Once upon a time, he was one of those guys, towers, expansions, you know, fairly, I guess, campy style, I guess we could call it. Whereas, like, now he's so diversified, his style. He's so versatile. He's capable of doing so many things. He plays other races as well. And all alike HawK, an absolute powerhouse of a human player in this Warcraft 3 scene. Definitely at the top of the European scene, alongside Happy.
Following in the footsteps of Hooligan as well, right? Also a Russian human player who had a good run at the World Cyber Games a long time ago. He was one of the big powerhouses in the early days of Warcraft 3. It's good to see that the Russian scene hasn't gone anywhere. Obviously with Happy being on top right now but HawK also showing us that he has what it takes to hang with the best. Can he do it twice, Todd? Can he defeat Infi twice in the same tournament? It would be an absolutely ridiculous achievement. I'd be very, very impressed and proud. I just hope we get a close series. If this series is only half as good as that first human versus human that we saw, I'd be very happy.
What if it's better?
If it's better, they're going to break down this place, Todd. So I'm going to get worried for our little casting booth over here, okay? We are surrounded by a sea of Warcraft nerds. People are lining up. You know, there are like beautiful cosplay girls over there. They're ignoring them. They're looking at Infi, Todd.
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like if there was a booth somewhere that said, like, we're giving out free phones, that people would still stick. Well, maybe they might go away.
They'll grab that phone and take pictures of Infi. That's what they would do.
Come back and watch the rest of the game. But yeah, HawK, I hope that he can handle the pressure here of playing on the biggest of stages, because you see that many people in front of you, you know that they are going to probably make more noise for your opponent than you. It can get to you.
The maps real quick, Todd. Last Refuge first, Northern Isle second, and if we need it, the best of 3 will get decided on Concealed Hill. Your thoughts quickly?
Last Refuge is where the last series ended, with that one epic game with the heroes getting super high levels, level 8 and 6 respectively, pretty much on both sides. So I'm kind of glad we're going back to that, and we're going to be seeing adjustments that players make from there in terms of aggression to maybe expanding a little bit more. Starting in the bottom left-hand side of the map, playing as the red human. It is the Chinese Infi.
The crowd is getting ready. They're feeling it. It is time, guys, finally, for that second finals to start. Of course, right after this, we're going to have our second semi-final as well. So don't go anywhere if you love Warcraft 3, because the other one is going to be sick, TH versus Moon. For now, obviously, this is HawK spawning in the right top side, representing Russia, spawning as the blue human player. All right, Todd, I know that you can talk about human versus human for days. There's going to be a lot of strategy. I think the people will be dizzy by the time that you're done talking about strategy, but give us all you got.
So, what we saw so far is they were playing very standard with the meta. I expect, you know, Archmages into Breakers, Mount Tanking second. This map a little bit more of an X factor. If anybody wanted to throw in something like a Mount Tanking first, this would be the map. You know, even Blood Mage first sometimes can be the case. Because it's such an important game, I fully expect an Archmage. But if there were to be a map, I feel like out of the maps that we saw earlier in the map pool, it would be the one. And, okay, it's going to be 2 Archmages. All alike. Expanding here is very strong, because you can grab mercenaries on the way to that expansion. But then again, both players are fantastic at pushing into that expansion. But if you buy the mercenary yourselves and you have a very good creep route, which both of these players do, and they know how to creep the mercenary camp quickly without taking too much damage by pulling it out of position, usually you can defend against the opponent very well and then do excellent from there. So the question is, does either of the expands? So far in the series, like the previous one that they played, it was HawK that expanded more, but it was on tier 2, you know, after taking, grabbing Mount Tanking, getting casters. Whereas Infi was the one pushing into that, but it's a very different map here, Last Refuge.
So I've got a question for you. Do you think that in preparation of this series, Infi has been talking with TH about how to tackle this Russian human player? Because that would be kind of awkward as well, because there is a chance that, let's say Infi does win and TH wins, and if TH would have given away all his secrets, then they might actually go up against each other in the final, right? Ooh.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I would say
how close
if I was Infi, I wouldn't. Yeah, they're very close.
Okay.
But they have to play each other. If I was Infi, I don't know. Unless he's really not confident, I don't think he has to do it. By the way, HawK took a lot of damage on his footman here.
Infi obviously doing the same thing. We see the priests have already been bought. A couple of these peasants. Robe of Magi +6. Well, that's a sweet way.
I love how the audience cheers, by the way, when this item drops. They know the strength of some of these. Yeah, both players get a pretty good item for extra damage here. He actually pulled the skin. Yeah, like you attack much faster. If he gets a bunch of damage now, like even in terms of like tomes or like some claws.
I would have always thought that this like one of the... Okay, he gets even more agility.
Okay, it's going to be a machine gun.
It's going to be a machine gun, but it's going to be a tickling machine gun. It's going to shoot like BB gun, you know, those like tiny little plastic bullets.
Just wait.
All right.
The Super Archmage is in the making.
But you got to be happy if you're HawK though, right? With the +6 intelligence. That's better at the end of the day.
It's the best.
Yeah, okay, all right. But he does pick up a claws of attack, so Todd, maybe you're onto something. That AM is going to be able to unleash quite a bit of damage with that +8 agility very quickly.
Gloves of Haste for HawK. This is like, it doesn't get any better than this, really. He's going to attack really fast, have that much extra damage. A little bit of more mana regeneration and mana pool as well. And we'll see in a second if either player chooses to expand. Infi went for an Arcane Tower in his main base here, very safe. Maybe a little bit afraid of a potential push from his opponent. He's getting defense, so he's gonna play one base. Okay, this is big. And again, Infi very reluctant to go for an expansion. But all alike, HawK is creeping the exact same as Infi is right now. And a regeneration potion, by the way, really nice to find here because he lost some HP on his Archmage.
I mean, both these guys going to level 3 so quickly. I mean, it's obviously a very big map. It's hard to run to the other side of the map and really, you know, harass your opponent too much. By the time you show up, these camps are often done already. This is going to be fun, man, because I think both players have a lot of potential to start sniping those footmen very quickly.
Is he actually going to play one base? Usually when you go defend, you don't creep the expo, and then you go across the map and you hope that the opponent expanded, and then you fight with defense. And because the opponent is expanding, he doesn't have enough. Infi making a fantastic adjustment, by the way. In their previous series, in game number 1, HawK rushed on level 3 and Infi wasn't quite ready yet, so he took a ton of damage. But in this game, he made the Arcane Tower is fully ready on his side of the map, and now he will defend. And I think start an expo in a second because he's left the peasants there.
Yeah, perhaps a couple of these peasants from Infi are going to be a bit hurt, by the way. But Infi actually left his peasants on the right side as well. This spell being used almost immediately on this Elemental takes a lot of damage. Same is done on the other side of the map, though. I mean, both Archmages just represent so much fire output. And I think that so far Infi dealt with this pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the expansion going up. Actually, HawK in the past has played a lot of this one-base style. You know, straight into caster and then just keep pushing consistently. He's getting defend himself now. He sees how many mercenaries were bought by Infi, which, I mean, on this map is not very surprising. And he sees the tier 1. Right now he should know about the expo, but usually you'd want to kill the peasants that are there, but he's still focusing a lot on the main base. HawK's Archmage, by the way. Very close to level 4 already, feels like. Oh, that's a sick catch.
Troll Berserker takes a lot of damage, one more shot and it does go down, and the audience is loving it here. These footmen are doing a really good job. I mean, that's going to be a level 4 AM for Infi, Todd. All he needs is just one more footman. He can, if he would pick up like a boots of speed, he can start sniping these priests like they're nothing.
Absolutely, especially with all the additional damage. By the way, Infi found a Gloves of Haste on the expo.
Yeah.
So both of these Archmages are just like, I mean, we got John Wick going up against Chuck Norris here. It's ridiculous.
Now, obviously, even though HawK didn't see the expand, he knows about it, right? Because he saw that the attack was delayed. He saw that a couple of workers were probably missing. This is going to be a level 4 Archmage already. This is incredibly quick, guys. I don't think you're going to get it much quicker than this in general. See what it picks up. +3 strength. Oh, well.
Yeah. Not what you want, but not the end of the world. I mean, he's already got a ton of damage. I wonder if HawK just wants to commit to a one base and do a big push. Like yesterday, when we saw Infi playing against HawK, he was the one.
Might pick up a Naga or something? Is that possible? He picked up something in the middle of the map, Todd. He picked up something, so we're going to figure it out real soon. Two of these footmen are very low on HP,
I think Alchemist or Panda usually is the most likely choice here, second hero. But yeah, before. Okay,
Panda.
so it's going to be the Panda. Breath of Fire here, very important. There is the Arcane Tower, I'm guessing about to finish on the expansion. Third Troll Priest is going to join the fight.
One priest takes a lot of damage though, but Infi saves it for now. The Berserker takes a lot of damage, but Infi saves that one too. Infi absolutely on point so far. And I don't know, I mean, as soon as these towers finish up, I think the footmen are going to have a lot less impact here. That AM is so powerful, and with that Arcane Tower finishing up, Infi will push the Russian human player back for now.
Yeah, I think he needs to just head on back home, use a scroll of regeneration, and then come back. But then HawK, he would allow Infi to do the same thing. Kills a bunch more footmen, gets level 4 here.
It's actually kind of nice. That Troll Berserker is so low, but that Panda does not get in range.
So I was saying, does HawK commit to the aggression here? Because if he does, he has to kill Infi. Like, he can expand right now and then just have the quick attack into casters and then just creep his Panda, which he will have much quicker than Infi will have a second hero, as we see the tech here finally on the way in the Chinese humans base. I feel like HawK might commit to the attack, kind of like we saw Moon doing yesterday against TH00 on this very map, just committing to the all-out aggression.
The Elemental actually got a cancel on that second tower, so that's obviously quite nice. But the scroll has been used for Infi, and a lot of these mercenaries are still alive. That Archmage is still looking for some more damage. Might actually chase down this priest, Todd.
Yeah.
And I think all it needs is like 2 or 3 more hits, but HawK is not going to let that happen. If you're Infi now, what's the dream second hero for you? Would you go for Mountain King against the Panda?
Yeah, I mean, if he's in imminent danger of dying, which might be the case, because I think HawK's going to do a one base, then you need to go for a neutral all the time. Maybe Panda, maybe Alchemist, but I think, I mean, you might, like, the game might get crazy even before that here. Oh, that one footman, that's so smart. He knew that HawK was going to heal, and HawK's going to get a ton of casters. He's sending militia across the map. He's pulling the boys. He's sending the Russian police here.
More towers going up almost immediately.
Yeah, but it's so late, and casters do a ton of damage. against these towers. And I mean, there is only one Arcane Tower available right now. He can just tower up from here. This is going to be a Sky Tower Rush. Only Sky ever really did this in the past with casters like this. He needs to pull back the Panda.
Panda's been taking a lot of damage and also a little bit of mana was drained. One of these towers actually in range. These elementals though are going to do so much damage on these towers that HawK is trying to get up there. The Panda does level up, but all of these mercenaries thought are still looking very healthy. I think that Infi is doing a pretty damn good job so far.
Yeah, Militia is going to reach that expansion. I think HawK maybe should move back a little bit to the right. Why the Militia would expire, but he's confident enough to just keep on fighting against this. I wouldn't be surprised if he retowered all the way up there here in a second to really force Infi in a tough spot in defending here. Yeah, as soon as he gets like 2 Soul Crusts, he's gonna slow everything, by the way. The Panda taking a ton of damage. He needs to run away. The Archmage still hitting like a truck.
Priest almost went down there as well. 1 footman low on HP. The Elemental is gonna try to get it cancel, but this Arcane Tower will finish up as well.
And this is big.
Yep. Now Infi can start repairing it. These Arcane Towers obviously do a lot of damage on these water elementals. Infi has picked up his own Panda. He shows up with a Breath of Fire, and Infi has defended his expand for now, and HawK is forced to disengage.
Yeah, Infi with a great defense. I mean, now that he has Panda, you can know that he's going to be starting Arcane Sanctums back at home. He spent a lot of wood on these towers. And that was the perfect choice, by the way. Guard towers are terrible against this. He made triple Arcane Tower. Infi fully engaging into this army here. Is that confident right now. He knows that he's doing a ton of damage with the Archmage. He knows that he has enough. Those Troll Berserkers have been going crazy this entire fight.
One Priest very close to dying and does finally go down, but that's a level 5 Archmage already. That's a Breath of Fire that connects with the entire army as well. HawK actually has to be a little bit careful with his AM. His AM is taking a lot of damage. Obviously shouldn't go down here.
He needed Soul Crusts way earlier than this. He made a ton of Priests, but that didn't work out. So much mercenaries were there for Infi. And Infi, once you've defended this, like, it's supposed to be over. You get double Arcane Sanctum, you get a bunch of breakers, you have an expo against somebody that doesn't, and then that's it, you've won. So I don't know what HawK's supposed to do here. I mean, maybe creep a little bit, expand himself, apply more pressure, but Infi, you know that from there, he's not going to let go of his advantage.
And he's got the Archmage advantage as well, right? He's got a level 5. He's going to cancel the healing scrolls once again. That Panda does show up. But you got to be careful here, HawK. He takes a lot of damage. That Archmage is indeed hitting very fast and hard. Militia is going to show up as well. The Panda survives with like 60 HP. And for now, Infi will disengage. But he's got to be very, very happy with how he defended that push.
Yeah, that Panda survives, but he's having a rough game so far.
Yeah.
Feeling about as good as us after we had the really hot pot the other day.
To be honest, the hot pot was delicious though.
Yeah?
The consequences
just
were real,
unbeatable because there was a ton of papers.
That Panda is going to get level 3, so that's one thing that the Russian human has going for himself now. Obviously on the other side of the map, the Panda of Infi is creeping very fast as well. Ooh, he retrained,
I mean, he knows that HawK is going to have a ton of priests. Like, he saw him massing them, so he's like, water elementals are not going to be that great. I'm just going to have Blizzard to work on everything that's not a Spellbreaker, which is actually quite a few of the units of HawK, because he's low on econ. So he couldn't even get that many breakers. Oh my god. This is straight bullying here. HawK is like, oh, I'm out of range. I'll just creep this big camp, but here comes the creep jack.
Risky.
HawK in so much trouble. He's going to have to TP here.
That is very risky. He's actually sticking around a little bit, Todd. I mean, the AM of Infi did take a lot of damage. I think HawK is just like, I need to get this creep. I need to get the item. But his priests are taking a lot of damage. One priest went down already. The AM of Infi, though, is in trouble. And Infi is actually the one that's forced to town portal out.
A little bit of a panic TP here. I think he could actually run away, but nice salvage from HawK, actually.
How many priests went down there, though? I think at least 2, right? Of HawK.
You know what? I wonder how many breakers are queued. Oh my god.
Show me the creep, please.
He pulled that camp this far and got the Ogre here.
Alright.
But yeah, I wonder how many breakers are queued in the Sanctums of Infi, because you don't have that many units.
Oh my god, Breath of Fire, Todd! Breath of Fire!
HawK,
this Panda is
he uses a potion. Why are you still there? You need to run away, HawK. There's boots on the Panda of Infi. He's gonna chase down the Panda of HawK. The Archmage taking a ton of damage as well. I think that Panda of HawK is dead.
Oh, it's definitely in a lot of trouble. It's being chased down. A Breath of Fire could be enough.
Oh my god, it goes down.
The priest tried to save it, but the Panda does go down. And obviously that is terrible news for a Russian human player. It's still 2 bases against 1 as well. Don't forget about that, guys. I mean, these are fights that Infi doesn't even really have to win. The Panda picks up another kill there with that Breath of Fire. And now this AM thought this Panda's not done yet, man.
Yeah, I love how this Archmage attacking the Panda. We make sure he doesn't turn around, because that would be pretty bad news for you, buddy. HawK's still stuck on 1 base now. Infi creeping on the bottom right hand side of the map. And from there, having an expo is just such a big advantage. That gold keeps on kicking. Look at those guys, bloodlusted. Why not?
That Panda's so cute with boots of speed. Do you see how it wiggles? It's like chasing down. It's like the cutest little panda, mate. I love it.
I love how you're still a child.
Yes, absolutely.
Just love in the game.
A wiggling panda can get me very excited. Infi is just playing a beautiful game of Warcraft 3 so far, though, Todd.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was in a disadvantage when it comes to the attack, but he handled it so well. The way he defended that first push, the way he defended the second push as well. Finally, that's going to be level 5 on the Archmage of HawK as well. But I mean, supply-wise, he's already down 20. And a wise man once said, the soup doesn't lie.
And he certainly won't, I think, this game. 67 to less than 50 right now. A big difference. Panda almost gets level 4 here, but not quite. And I think they're about to fight yet again. But without his Panda, like HawK, it's just so hard for him to fight here. He's actually expanding, just right besides this.
I mean, there's going to be a blizzard once again. These priests are going to be forced to disengage. The breakers are starting to take quite a bit of damage already as well. I mean, Infi is taking some damage on his panda, but this is a beefy panda. He's got a greater healing as well. He's got an info potion.
Oh my god, he critted.
Look at that Archmage, Todd.
He critted for 114. That panda means business. That's why he transferred the boots of Elviskin here.
Yeah. I mean, Infi is absolutely dominating this game. You could land a blizzard now as well on these workers, and that's going to make it incredibly hard for HawK to ever get this expand up and running. I mean, this AM can just go on a killing spree over here. These peasants are sitting ducks.
What does this Archmage have claws?
He's got a lot of them, Todd.
Yeah, he's blizzarding every. Oh my god, bro. Not the best item, but I think it might not matter here. HawK still trying to expand. He's gonna have to save this. He's gonna have to fight for his life here on this expansion. 46 supply to 70 now.
I feel like the AM can just cancel the potion, by the way. I would love to see him get one hit off on the Archmage of HawK, but maybe Infi feels like he doesn't even need it. Look at that panda, Todd. It has bloodlust. It's massive. That's a big panda right there. That's a really big panda.
Oh, he critted for 126. He's got an invuln.
He's going to win that fight. He's got an info as well. He's going to be more than fine.
HawK
The panda of HawK is in trouble, and it's going to go down once again. And with that, I feel the hopes and dreams of HawK winning this game are gone. Infi will take the 1-0 lead in the semifinals.
And HawK, a little bit surprisingly here, went for a push. You know, I talked about this in the pregame. If you buy mercenaries, the opponent buys mercenaries, and then the opponent pushes into you, it's very hard for them to break you on this map. You're equal in army. Technically, if you're fast expanding, you're going to have a little bit less than the opponent. That's why sometimes they can pull off some of these attacks. But Infi, he made defend early. It's almost as if he knew this might be coming, or he knew that this was a better build order than if you don't get defense. And I feel the big problem for HawK is that he focused towards the main base of Infi.
I was about to ask you.
If you had gone to the expo, you just kill the peasants. That's it. You kill a ton of peasants. Even if you kill only 5, you just slow down the expo a lot and you wreck the wood economy of your opponent. And then also behind this, when you go double Arcane Sanctum, I don't think it's the best to go for like 4 priests for sure. Like maybe you can go 2 priests first, but you definitely need something like 2 Sorceresses after, because 2 Sorceresses, they will like you already had a level 4 Archmage very early. They will just slow everything, and from there, like you're just doing so much better in the fights than he was now. Like for sure now he struggled a lot.
Yeah, it was my main question. I was kind of surprised to see him go for that main base, especially because there was an Arcane Tower in the main base as well. And obviously while these peasants are building the town on the expand, you know, they are kind of sitting ducks there. They're static targets. And I think getting 5 is maybe a little bit ambitious. If he gets 5, that would obviously be awesome. But even if he gets like 3 or 4, he forces them to run around a little bit, right? Maybe gets a cancel on that first tower. Maybe there are things possible, but I must say it seems like this is such a big map, right? It feels like the defender's advantage is really quite strong there. And the way that Infi positioned his mercenaries, I was never worried about him losing them because they were very healthy. They're in the back, but they're pushing out a lot of damage.
Maybe if HawK had boots, he could have gone for a little bit of a dive, but even then, like the Archmage can get targeted and stuff, so hopefully he can do better.
Well, the second map is going to be smaller, but we're going to take a look at some of these highlights here. This is already, of course, a lot later into the game, where Infi got himself in a very good position already. This was actually not that bad by HawK, as he forced out the town portal since his panda had bloodlust here. But a couple of priests did go down, and if you're 1 base against 2 base, Todd, you can't even afford to lose priests like that.
Yeah, I mean, that was where it went really bad. Like his panda just took so much damage, and when I saw that there was boots on the panda of Infi and none on the panda of HawK, I knew immediately that this was dead. This was going to get chased.
That priest though is like
heal, nope. Maybe one more heal might have saved it, but not quite. And at the end, HawK just got really desperate. I mean, he needed to. He went for the heroes, and even then, not quite enough.
This reminded me of my childhood, man. I feel like the big panda is my brother, and I'm like the little panda, and I'm like, I think I almost got him, but then like my big brother turns around, he's like, no, you don't got me at all. Go back to your place, kid. And I'm like, oh man, feels bad having an older brother, Todd. or in this case, going up against a much bigger panda.
Infi definitely kind of big brothered Hawk here in this game once he defended the initial push, which is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like that first big push, like you need to break through, you need to do a ton of damage. When he towered, that was it.
I want to ask you, do you think it was a mistake that his tower was in range of Infi's tower? Because that is still some pretty decent.
The first towers are always gonna get cancelled anyway. Like they're just so easy to kill while they're building. Like you just put one water elemental on them, they're dying, even if there is peasants repairing.
So that was not the big deal. It's just more that like he just didn't have the units.
Yeah, he didn't have enough, and I think he went for the wrong composition. He made too many priests.
Okay.
And even before that, like he wasn't going that great, you know, in the traits that he was getting. Like he was pushing across the map, but Infi was sending him home with a lot of units on low hit points. And I mean, you're the one that's supposed to be breaking through, not be sent home against somebody that has an expansion running the whole game. Like he wasn't that close at any point for Infi. And even if it had been, he still could have bought, like, you know, the Ogre from the mercenary camp. He didn't even need to do that here. Didn't panic, didn't have to use militia that much.
The priests with their abolish magic are just so useful, right? In taking care of those elementals, and then you've got the troll berserkers in the back. Even if those footmen have defense, it's just always nice to have those trolls there for some constant DPS, and have a lot of DPS on elementals, and even some decent damage on heroes as well. We'll see if the Russian can turn it around in Game 2. A very, very big moment, probably the biggest moment of his long Warcraft 3 career. If Hawk is winning this series, he will go to the Grand Finals of World Cyber Games and win at least $10,000. Losing here, though, Todd, means there is a chance you go home with nothing.
Absolutely. We'll load it up into Northern Isle here. This was the map that they started their previous series on. And in the bottom left-hand side of the map, next to the blue human, it is Infi.
And on the right top side, of course, the Russian Hawk. Yeah, they had this cool skirmish, right, when they played on this map earlier in this tournament in the middle of the map, where Infi felt, to me, a little trigger happy with his items. He was like, scroll of the beast, healing scroll, and he's like, oh man, I still lost my hero. And I actually felt like, you know, from that point on, I was like, you know what, I think that we could be looking at a little upset here. And then in the end, Hawk did get it done. But I do feel that, Todd, like, yes, getting a round-robin victory is awesome, but I feel going up against a man like Infi on a stage like this, with this many people watching, I feel like Infi becomes a different animal as well.
Yeah, like I feel like Hawk for sure, like last game, that was not his best performance. His execution was, so I really hope he's not getting too nervous, he's not letting that audience get to his head. I mean, it can get impressive. At the end of the day, you got like hundreds of people right in front of you watching you. Like the pressure can get to you.
I think, like, even though like this is not the main stage, guys, we're in the second hallway. This
might as well be.
I think that
I'm pretty sure there's more people here.
Yes, no, absolutely there is, Todd. Like, you say hundreds. Like, if you're gonna tell me that 1,000 people are standing on the stage, I actually believe you, because it is packed from side to side. Behind it, like, people are watching from every single angle. These people love Warcraft 3, and that really makes it feel like a privilege to sit here in the middle of all of them.
And it is, I think. We've got an Archmage being made from both players. Be interesting to see if they both creep their expansion first, which seems to be the standard from these guys. A lot of the time they're going to both send their footmen across the map to get a good scout and see what the opponent's doing.
What I love, by the way, is that we have like two different kinds of observing, right? And at one point it feels similar, and then suddenly the guy in the middle is looking something else, and I'm like casting a game that's not actually happening for the people at home, and I'm like, oh my god.
So in the previous game that they played on this map, what gave Hawk the advantage and what gave him incredible momentum was that Infi was trying to creep a lot, but he did like kind of like risky and difficult creeps, and he took a ton of damage on a lot of his units. And then Hawk found his way to Infi's base, where he managed to kill quite a few peasants. So then you really kind of destroy the wood economy of your opponent by doing that, because you can't keep on making peasants while you're taking. So Hawk, in this game, he can anticipate that Infi is going to do a much better job of that. You know, like have an arcane tower, most likely on time on his side of the map, maybe scout a little bit extra to make sure that he spots Hawk from when he goes across the map. When that's finally going to happen.
How do you feel about the Ring of Regen versus the Periapto Vitality?
I like Ring of Regen better, but it's like, you know, somewhat similar.
Pretty even, right?
Yeah.
Across the board. Bit different, but I guess that it's pretty even. So far, everything is quite fair. We're going to see what Infi is going to be able to pick up here. A second item, can he get lucky? Maybe a +3 mental?
Sentry wards.
Oh,
pretty good.
Yeah, no.
Like one single sentry ward in the center of the map just gives you so much. Oh my god, that peasant.
Yeah.
It took quite a bit of damage on this. This might encourage Infi to go for an attack here after this, but does he have an arcane tower? Yes, okay.
This footman really wants that peasant. Peasant is running away. He's like, no! No! Go away.
Don't do it.
But this is nice already, right? Like, it's a little bit of economic damage. Like, this is not big, don't get me wrong, but it's all these little things where you can force your opponent to morph workers into
HawK has crept slower, by the way, because he was chasing that footman. This is the third camp that Infi is doing. HawK is doing his second camp.
And look at that last item he picked up, even though it's a minor one. The +3 mental of intelligence, I think it's always nice. Get some extra damage on that Archmage, and above all, get some extra mana.
Yeah, Infi now going to be starting the one camp where you get the pretty good item, I would say, that's close to your base. Can be a mana steal, greater healing, greater mana, something like that. Whereas HawK still creeping those very small camps here.
Yeah. What does he get? Would be nice if he can pick up some sentries as well. Obviously, the circlet was a nice one.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be, HawK? Show us. We're curious. What does the AM have? A potion of greater healing.
Yeah, that's very good.
I think you like that one, don't you, Todd?
Yeah. Really love it. This footman took a ton of damage, actually. I wonder if he has a shop. Infi kept on making shop in that one series that they played earlier outside of his wall. Also,
I'm not that big fan of that potion. Like, obviously it can come in handy from time to time, but I'll take the sentry wards of Infi any day.
That potion can be really good if you take like you can purposely take a bunch of damage on your hero, and then if there is a break in the action, you can just make sure you heal it. Great micro by Infi here, making sure he waits for the purge to be used until he finally attacks, so that he wouldn't get purged. The one water elemental. Ooh, the water elemental getting ensnared on this camp is like the absolute worst case scenario here, because his footman took a ton of damage now.
Scroll of the Beast getting picked up as well. Well, I mean, maybe there are some tiny moments where that one can come in handy, but obviously the later the game goes, the less impactful that will be, with all the spell breakers that potentially show up and the priest as well. I must say though, Todd, like, I know that the game is not going to get decided on it, but I really prefer Infi's set of items a lot more than the ones that HawK was able to pick up.
Yeah. I think the greater healing, I think in particular, is going to be a very important one.
Wow, that's some aggressive creeping once again by Infi. I mean, you mentioned it, he likes to go aggressive. HawK is actually not aware of this. I mean, he has something there in the middle of the map, so he's kind of running towards it, but I think he's going to show up a little bit too late. I mean, if he really wants to fight desperately here, he has got a footman. What does Infi pick up? Maybe the AM, the Helpstone! Oh my goodness, that was close, but Infi does manage to get it. Well, this Archmage thought is never going to die.
Yeah. Ring of Regen, Hellstone, greater healing.
I feel like at this point you should let him surround you and then just kill 5 footmen.
Just stand there forever.
Yeah. Oh, footman got picked up there, but I think it was by the creep, so at least no experience. That AM of Infi is already just looking a lot better than the AM of HawK. HawK is going to try to creep this camp now instead in the middle, but Infi is going to be annoying, Todd. He won't just let it happen.
You know, I think they are both about to reach tier 2 pretty soon. I feel like it's almost encouraging to grab a neutral second hero here if you really want to be able to creep that Goblin Merchant in the center. Nice surround.
Surround actually on this Water Elemental.
Look,
I mean,
he took a ton of damage. If he pulls back now, the regen potion is going to be great.
Yep. I mean, that AM is taking some beating here though, Todd, so I think that's actually going to discourage him from picking up a neutral hero if that was his plan. I mean, he does still have that potion, like you said, so this is a perfect moment, I think, to pop it. If you get out of battle, that is.
Yeah, you need to get further away, like, to make sure the opponent doesn't get a hit on you. There is already a Lumber Mill from both players. Wow. So we could be seeing expansion. I feel like particularly from HawK. But Infi looked, in their previous series, he looked like he really wanted to go for the pushes instead of expanding himself.
He used the potion though, Todd, and it got cancelled pretty quickly. I mean, he only got like 60 or 70 extra HP from it. I'm a bit worried here. I don't really like the positioning that HawK got himself in. That AM on the north side is healthy and strong. The footmen are low on HP for HawK as well. The other units are about to show up of Infi, and I feel like the Chinese Terran is putting on a masterclass. Stormbolt does connect, but like I said before, you can surround it. You're not going to kill that AM. That AM is never going to die, Todd.
Yeah, that Archmage is chasing the Archmage of HawK here. He pops. What I'm guessing was the greater healing, so the Hellstone plus the Ring of Regeneration is still going to be active. MK Stormbolt one another. I don't think he can land a surround here, Infi. But HawK's Mountain King took more damage here. Yeah, I mean, Infi has so much momentum. He's playing incredible today.
I feel like HawK's everything took more damage. The surround there as well, and that second footman, the militia, is going to show up. But even then, I don't think you can fight. He really needs more HP on this Archmage. But Infi is not letting him. I think sniping that potion was sick. Are we going to get an expand there? Yes, we are. Just scouted immediately.
Yeah.
So this is kind of nice by HawK. But what can he really do about it, Todd?
He can't do anything right now. It feels like whoever is ahead is the one that should expand. And actually, HawK is like, upon spawning that expansion, he's like, I'll grab my own. Footman count here is heavily favoring Infi. Yeah. Wow.
And don't forget that he still has, don't forget that he still has the items as well on the AM. He has another health stone, so the heroes are not going to be in any danger of dying either. I mean, the creeps are helping HawK here a little bit, and that's nice for the Russian because he needs all the help he can find right now. But the AM does go up to level 4. I kind of like the counter expand though, Todd, because I feel if he would try to bomb rush this expand, I just don't think he's ever going to win a fight on Infi's side of the map. So you may as well just drop your own expand and hope that you can drag this game on for a little while longer.
Yeah, his expansion is just a little bit later. Tons of dispels here are going to hit in the center. HawK is all out of units. He has basically no army. He's just got 3 priests, 2 heroes, a water elemental that's getting dispelled right now. And he's in a world of trouble. One more Stormbolt will land. Infi completely dominating, and I feel like he's just going to walk to that expansion and propel himself into the grand finals here.
Yeah, he's got that sentry there as well, right? So he knows about it, obviously. I mean, HawK is going to try to keep Infi here. He's like, no, there's nothing for you to be found up there. But look at the HP, it just always feels so much better for Infi. He's got more experience, he's got the higher levels, he had the stronger items to begin with, and that expand Todd is in a world of trouble. These peasants taking a lot of damage. I don't think this expand is going to finish up.
Yeah, it's so far off, it feels like. So close yet so far from finishing. Militia will join the fight here. HawK, he needs to defend convincingly. He's facing an Infi who's got so much more army and momentum here in this game. Mount tanking already on a higher level as well. He's going to target the peasants and the town lord here. Wants to make sure he gets that cancelled, but that's actually going to finish. And I think HawK will be able to repair it. A little bit surprising he didn't choose to fight the units.
One priest getting stormbolted now. Finally, HawK gets a kill as well, but his Mountain King is now in a lot of trouble. Bash gets down as well, I believe. And that's going to be it. The MK goes down. This Elemental gets dispelled immediately. And yeah, that town hall is done, Todd. But is that really a town hall you want to put your lifeline on? I don't think so. It's burning already. These peasants are vulnerable. They're sitting ducks, and without a Mountain King, HawK simply cannot fight here.
Yeah, and HawK, he has to defend that expansion, but he just can't. He doesn't have enough. He's going to try to hang in there, target some of these priests, reinforce as much as he can, but he's just completely outnumbered. He's probably remaking Mountain King right now. Militia is going to rejoin that position. He's going to need a miracle to win this one. Infi just has so much, and it's not like he's going to fall asleep on his lead. He's going to keep on microing as he needs to. Perfect mix of priest, breakers. Mountain King gets surrounded, but he doesn't even care. I mean, there's not even enough firepower. He's got a Hellstone, the Ring of Regeneration. He wants, he wanted his Mountain King to get surrounded at this point.
Yeah. He's like, cool, keep those units here. I'm having way more DPS than you two. Level 3 Mountain King, GG gets called. And even though HawK got it done in the group stage, when it matters the most here in the semi-final, Infi put on a clinic and thought he looked marvelous.
Absolute monster mode here from Infi. Taking revenge after losing the previous series in a round robin. Looked absolutely flawless.
His micro was flawless. Like, did you see a mistake in any of those 2 games? Was there a unit that he could have saved that he didn't save? I mean, I'm sure there's like a couple footmen going down here and there.
No, I didn't.
I think he looked as close to perfect as you're going to. HawK tried to bring the aggression, but it simply didn't work out. And I really love the zoning. I love the positioning of Infi's heroes levels. Even when he wasn't going for kills, he put so much pressure on HawK all the time, and he never let HawK get any momentum in these games.
Yeah, HawK, I don't know what it was, but it felt like maybe he was not playing as well as he could have. But you know, again, it could be many things. But being on stage here in the semi-finals with that many people watching, it can definitely get to you. It's really tough. Like, you already played against Infi as well. Like, you know there's going to be so many mind games involved going into the games, and then sometimes you're going to try something specific. Like in game number 1, he tries for a big push. In your head, it could look really good and go really well. Yeah. But then Infi might have done something that HawK didn't expect in expanding. It really felt like HawK wasn't ready. Like, I feel like if HawK had known, he would have pushed the expand from the get-go, but he went for the main base, and that was the big problem. He was trying to do the same thing, I feel, in the first game that he did in the first game of their first series, which was catch Infi off guard, go for his base when Infi's not around, kill a ton of peasants, and then get ahead from there, create some momentum.
And in that second game, I really felt that Infi's, like I said before, the positioning, the way he was moving his hero around, he always put it in a dangerous spot. And he wasn't going to get like the hero kill immediately, but he applied so much pressure that at one point HawK clearly didn't want to give up the middle of the map. So he popped that potion, but Infi is right there, swings around, gets one hit, cancels the potion. And how are you going to win a fight like that against maybe the best human player in the world when his archmage is fully healthy and yours is on 200 HP? You simply don't win those kind of fights.
Yeah, it was really tough. Honestly, I can only sympathize with HawK, because I feel like it's so hard to do well against somebody like Infi when he's playing like this. Like, the execution is just flawless. Like, it's not even like he's doing something like super cheesy or crazy that surprised HawK. No, he's just playing standard but flawless. Everything, the creeping, the micro in the fights, the prioritization, the build orders. Everything looks super well.
He felt a little more clutch and decisive to me as well, though, right? When it came to camps, like it feels like he never really walked around anything. He's like, nope, walks in there, hits the creeps, starts creeping immediately. If I get creep jacked, so what? I'll deal with it when that actually happens. But then he often picked up an item already, or at least he got one kill, and then it kind of became scrappy battles. But Infi very smart in moving his units around. That often it felt like 2 against 1. It was the creeps and Infi against HawK. I mean, you gotta love it. Well done there by Infi. He makes it to another grand finals of the World Cyber Games. He went all the way. I'm sure that he still kisses that gold medal from time to time that he picked up in Chengdu. What is that? 10 years ago. That's crazy, by the way. Imagining that 10 years ago. And now he's pretty close to doing it once again. And we're gonna have another semi-final, guys. That's gonna be TH versus Moon. Yesterday, that series was unbelievable.
It was the best
absolutely
that we've
nuts.
seen so far.
Yeah, it was crazy. We're gonna get it again. We're gonna be sitting in the front row. We're gonna be enjoying that. The Germans will be bringing you guys that game. And don't worry about HawK. He's got one more shot at least picking up a medal, as he will play later today.
And $5,000.
Yeah, and 5,000. I mean, I love the medal, Todd. I'm a passionate nerd.
I'll take the money.
$5,000. I mean, the rubles, RMB, bucks.
Actually, yeah, it's a great point. Like, I feel like after this, you almost feel like, no, like, you know, it's disappointing for HawK and there's nothing coming. But no, he's still in it. There's a third place match that will be coming up later on, and he will face the loser of Moon versus TH00. That will be today after the second semifinals.
What's your
pretty
prediction?
hyped for it, actually.
Give me your prediction, Todd. Yesterday we saw Moon win an incredibly close series. Who's going to take it this time?
You know, Infi came back stronger against HawK. I feel like Moon might be doing the same. TH, sorry. After he lost to Moon yesterday, I feel like TH went in the lab. He analyzed everything, and he was like, I'm just going to play like this, and I'm going to crush your Dryad style with the pushes. And I think he's going to do a lot better today. So I expect TH versus Infi grand finals, and then Moon against HawK.
What I wonder about is who this crowd is going to cheer for, guys. Because obviously they love their Chinese Warcraft players, but they also love, with capital L, Moon. So I feel like this crowd is going to be really torn. Like, do we cheer for the Chinese? And obviously they love TH as well. Or do we cheer for maybe their favorite player in the whole wide world, which is Moon? It's going to be so fun for us to just watch those games. Like, I'm definitely feeling for HawK, but I'm just happy that he got one more series. And hopefully later today, he can bring that same level of play as he showed in the group stage, because then he absolutely has a good shot at still winning $5,000 and, of course, ending up on the podium.
Especially as a French and Dutch, right? We're not biased. You have the caster desk. Like, HawK will be back, right?
I got to show my boy Infi some love. You know, Infi was very nice after a minute, because he hasn't seen me in so long, right? I didn't really think that he would recognize me, but he walks by and he's like, oh, hey, Rotterdam, and he comes over, shake my head. I was like, you know, kind of touched.
Have you ever played him?
Yeah, of course. No, we actually, when I stayed at your apartment in China a long time ago, he was one of the few guys that enjoyed playing custom games with me.
Really?
I tried getting Sky, but Sky's like, I'm not in the mood. Anyway, guys.
I don't remember that massacre, but anyway.
Guys, that's going to be it. We're going to take a look at some of these highlights, and after that, we'll be back with the second semi-final. Hope you guys loved it. Stay tuned. There's more Warcraft to come.